Welcome to Ambari Cloud YouTube channel. And today I'll be presenting Iceberg Branch multiple ETLs. So what is the purpose of the branch when you use multiple ETLs? Like for example, bronze, silver, gold concept. How are we going to use as a as a data as code? We also know that the branch can help us for QA or ML tooling for experimentation. So watch the previous channel, previous YouTube. I discussed more detail about branching, tagging, and all that stuff. Okay, so it's kind of a versioning, and not only for versioning, you can use data as code. You load the data, you validate, you nurture the main. It's kind of a Git concept, right? As we are practicing for other modules. So it provides tracking, right? Tracking the changes, what we done. Then also it helps any legal compliances. If you keep it for a longer period of time and we will not, and also you can prevent expiration, snapshot expiration. So today our focus most on data, right? Audit publish. So basically what it is, it's a pattern where we're going to enable it to a table and we load data and then we validate. Once we validate, then we're going to let it remain. So this way, if any issues happening on ETL, we can just drop the branch and it will not impact the main table. And also, we don't have to do any backup and this recoveries and all that stuff before we start ETL or failure of ETL. That's the beauty of the web concept, data as code. So it's a zero copy clone, and you can manage very easily, and procedures are very easy to use. So you're going to create a so in our in our example, we're going to create a branch, right? Write new data, and then we execute multiple ETLs. Of course, those are not parallel. We're going to execute in a sequence like a DAG model, and then we're going to validate and check, you know, the data. If you get any data issues and all that stuff, then we're going to match it, right? So this is how. Then you can keep this branch for a long period of time for any compliances. Okay. So we have a table that says sales table, and we're going to create and load the data. Then everybody can see it. Then if you make some changes, then it's create a new snapshot, and then everybody can see it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a branch. So for that we're going to start an ETL1. So ETL1 is going to create a branch. That means it enables the table with based on this snapshot, and then we're gonna run multiple updates, right? Update one, update two. So each update or each commit, right, is a separate snapshot. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start another ETL, right? So that means this ETL is completed. We're gonna start another ETL, and this ETL updates it's a new data. It's a delete update, but it's on the same table, by the way. So right now, this example is only one table. Then once we validate, then we're going to do fast forward and then execute the main, and everybody can see. So this is the use case, right? So we have data here. We're going to do data inserts and then we can do then it can be um, multiple sources of data coming in. Then you're gonna run multiple ETLs. Yeah, you can have any number of branches, any number of commits on this branch. Then you can do fast forward. Now, if any of these fail, just drop it. Then we are still back to here, right? So if you go back, then you are still there, right? So this is how we're gonna look at it. Okay, let's look at the demo. Okay. So what you're gonna do is, of course, this presentation I'm doing on Iceberg 1.50. Okay, let's start the Spark, and then I'm going to do some ETL setup with database names and other stuff. So here in the ETL setup, I'm getting the branch name then. So because I'm using multiple ETLs, right? So the branch name is nothing but ETL from today's date. Okay. Now, for demo purpose, yeah, we're creating the database, and so there is no need to the let's quickly, and there is no need of um, creating this in regular basis, but this is the first time, right? Yeah. So I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to create a table. And right now I don't have any tables, right? So I'm gonna read some files, and then I have 13,630 rows. Okay. I'm going to create a table. So here I'm using data frame directly creating, but generally you create a table, and you need to decide which is a more table or cow table based on your updates, deletes, or inserts, and what kind of requirement is this. So for that, go back and check the one of the video I have there, explaining what is a cow and more table formats. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna create a table, and then so we have one table. Let's check the properties, standard type 2 table, sorry, not format version 2 table, and then check the counts one more time. Now let's check the branches, right? Always check the branch. Now it's main branch, it's main, and one snapshot. Most recent snapshot always points to once you met. For now, it's only one branch. And then, so what we need to do is we need to enable wrap for the table, right? So we're going to enable it, and we're going to create a branch, right? So here I'm dynamically creating a branch. The branch name is coming from one of the configuration file, which is basically here, the configuration file. Configuration file is nothing but simply getting a date, right? Once you enable it, then one more time check the. So now you can see a branch is created, but this branch is based on the main branch, so it has both has the same snapshot. And right. So now let's check the count based on the branch, right? Same, right? Let's find the count based on the main branch. Okay. So in 1.5, you can see table dot branch underscore your branch name, right? So branch name is main or ETL, whichever. So that's why we did here ETL. Okay. Once that, then since we are want to modify data in the branch, right? So what we will be doing it, inserting data into the branch directly. So that's 1.50, right? You can so I'm going to insert, right? And then now let's check the count on the branch. Now we added one more additional data. Let's check the count on the main also. Now, right? So main still has old data, right? It's a brand. So this is so the customers are still seeing the old data. Let's go back to here. Yeah, they're still seeing. Right now we are working on this branch, right? So but the end users are still seeing only this data. So when you see here, um, yeah. Now let's check the one more time. And now if you see here, because we did the commit, it has a new snapshot. Okay. So that's it. That's the ETL one is done. Now let's go to ETL two. ETL two will also starting its own Spark session, right? And then ETL two also gets the same branch name, right? Now ETL two is loading some data. Okay. Okay. So I'm just loading. Then now use the my database and check the count on the main table. Still same, right? Check the what branches we have. Now I'm inserting data into the branch, right? Again, one more time, fix the count, right? And inserting data into the branch. Now just check the count on the branch. Now we have additional data. So now if you go back to ETL1, right? So, ETL has 1400, 630, and now ETL2 is added more data. So now go back to our make sure that this guy is not closing. Okay. Um, so now we did the ETL. Okay. Once, so here, we inserted multiple times. Then, we started another Spark session. Then uploaded data, and now we also loaded. So now we are here. So what we need to do is now we're gonna do the fast forward, right? We're gonna do fast forward. That means we have to run the fast forward and merge with the main. Once the merge with the main, then everybody can see it. Now let's open the fast forward. It's going to be another ETL session, right? So I'm going to run ETL. Now let's check the counts, right? And then you say now we survive. Now let's go back to ETL2, same number. Now what we need to do is there is a procedure called fast forward, right? In the older version, this is 1.3, 1.4, it's a cherry pick, right? It's the same now, it made it easy. Cherry pick mostly, not mostly, cherry pick version, we have to identify the snapshot ID, and then, you have to do a cherry pick on a particular snapshot. But with the new 1.5, it may be it's called fast forward. What we mean is basically we're gonna merge your branch with it. So let's run here. Now you'll see fast forward. This is a table. Then this is my branch. Merge with main. Now I'm going to execute the procedure. Right. Now let's go back to check on my counts on the branch again. Still I have not dropped the branch yet. Then check on my main table. Now look at the main table here. But here on the main table, still whole number. If you see the main table, still the whole number. But we have to do it fast forward. Then so now you can also check counts based on the main branch, right? Then you can also list before we drop. Then you can see that you have ETL. Now, since we did, so ETL number 81 snapshot edit, since we did fast forward, now ETL branch and main branch are same. And now, now what we're going to do here is we're going to drop the branch because we don't need to do this for audit purpose, for complaints purpose, right? So we're going to drop the branch, right? Now let's check the count on the table. Now let's check since we drop the branch, now that one more count. So we have the final data set. So now right, final data set, right? As soon as you complete the fast forward, drop the branches, it will not impact the end result. So now they can see this. So this is, I suggest use this kind of procedures in your ETL load. Today, what we do is we take a backup of this table, and even if you are next, a lot of folks are doing that. Take the backup of this table, run the loads, and um, then validate, then of course you can do expect the snapshot, roll back the snapshot, which is can be possible. But instead of that, then you may get confused. Okay, I need to find the snapshot ID, then I need to roll back, and then am I roll back incorrectly? You get confused, right? A lot of manual. But branching is, everything is happening in isolation. Nobody knows. You're not touching the main table, and when you're loading directly into the main table, and then you find out if there's an error, and if you roll back, and by the time user already saw the data, and they might have run the reports, right? So don't do any massive updates on the table directly. Small updates maybe that's fine, but any the long run ETLs, right? Create a branch and then do all the work changes and then fast forward. So this is basically data as code concept getting popular, and more safer implementation. The code is, your Spark code is as is, but only thing you do is just enable the table as a web, and then use the branch name part of your insert statement. Appending the branch name. Then yeah, then it's easy to build this kind of architecture. and more safer. It doesn't cost too much because just these are zero copy clones, and the code change is very limited. And then users are seeing the consistent reports. So this is how the branching um, wrap works. Okay. So thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you.